Hi guys, thanks for joining. It's Debbie and
Bridget. We're part of the GAD group.
And we're at the University of New Mexico participating in
A study about retention of gadolinium. The name of it is the Legacy of Latency, the natural history of symptoms stemming from toxic exposures.
and gadolinium is a toxic rare earth metal that's used in magnetic resonance imaging, and it is the contrast dye that helps them see inside the body what's going on inside in the body. And this study is to look at different things. They're collecting data. What's the data they're collecting?
Nails, hair, urine, and blood.
And they're looking at that, and then they're comparing it to the symptoms that patients may have. And not every patient has symptoms, but they're looking and they're collecting the data to say what kind of symptoms are patients dealing with from the retention of heavy metals. So we're here today to just talk about what that study looks like, because we're getting a lot of questions from the group in our forum, which we have 13,000 members. And this is the hat that isn't really a hat. It's what they use to collect the urine that you collect for 24 hours. You dump it in a jug, you turn in the jug, and they measure it and do a lot of lab work against it. And it just shows how much you're excreting it.
Right. Yeah. Whether or not it's coming out, because some of it's stored, but some of it still continues to be excreted.
Yep, and it can excrete out of your urine and out of your poo for years and decades. Well, we have
over 8 years.
Yeah, we have a couple people 20 years later, it's still coming out of their bodies. So, hats off. So let's talk about what that means and what some of those things look like.
Where are we going?
So let's talk about that. So we collect the urine, right? And we kind of made fun with the little hats, but that urine then they put it through some tests, and then it shows how much your body's currently excreting, and that can be, as we mentioned, a few months later, years later, whatever. And that's just to say that it's still inside your body and it's still being processed out, and that then links to symptoms, and we'll talk about some of those, and then how that may or may not be impactful into understanding heavy metals and how they impact the body, right? So we're going to just talk about, I forgot.
They do a symptom list, so they go through all of the systems of the body and to see what symptoms the patient or the person is having. Interestingly, not everybody, it doesn't necessarily correlate, like the amount that it can be excreted in your urine may not. Sometimes the people have symptoms, sometimes they don't have symptoms, and I think that they're trying to delve into who and why those people have more symptoms than others,
right?
And how it's impactful, and their might be a mast cell activation or a mast cell, we don't know yet, but it's a first important step of people giving their information.
And just linking the dots or connecting dots to how the body may be impacted by metals. And we know that there's lots of testing on other kinds of metals like mercury and lead and arsenic and even aluminum. But gadolinium's kind of new to the scene, and we don't know a lot of information. And so this is like the first attempt to really make that happen. And this database is the first database. It's a patient repository. And so all the information is being fed into the repository so that then they can start to look at it and data mine and compare and analyze it. And so it's really great. And they have some amazing tools. And as far as the hair and the nails, these tools can look and they can see whether or not those samples contain gadolinium. And it's interesting because a lot of times they do.
And even if they don't, that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have it stored in your body.
Right. And that's a very important part, Jean, because, Bridget, we know that retention is a way of encapsulating it in the body and moving it into what may be considered safe, so it's not causing problems. Storage. But we don't know if the storage is how the body's storing it and if it is toxic and if it's causing problems. And that's the whole purpose of this research in the repository, is to figure that all out, right? Yeah, so we're excited about it, and we're excited to participate. And we really are producing this video because we want to give people an idea of what it looks like to participate. So you come to the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. You pay for your own way. They give you a $50 gift card at the end of it. When you turn your urine in, you have to turn your urine in to qualify for the $50 gift card.
24-hour urine.
Yeah, 24 hours. So you're here for a couple days at least. Takes a couple hours. You get an interview and go through the checklist of symptoms or bodily systems, and the bodily systems looking at what symptoms have changed for you as a human before you were injected with the contrast and after. And what things you've noticed as a patient. What are some of the things you've noticed?
Oh, definitely. Skin changes. Unfortunately, tendon issues. I had claw hands for a little while. Red blood cell changes shape to ovalocytes and polychromasia. My D-dimer went up.
Hair loss. Sleep,
dental issues, because it can affect the bone mineral balance.
I think for me, the first thing that I noticed was a burning sensation, skin burning, bone pain, and then when one of the tests that they ran on me, my doctor ran on me, was a small fiber neuropathy, and it came back positive for that. That was new, and it showed up just after being injected.
I had super high eosinophils.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super high eosinophils.
Yeah.
It was hypersensitivity.
And I think I had Hashimoto's for probably 15 or 20 years, and it was very level and maintained, and then it just went rogue, and they've never been able to balance it out since. And now I have nodules on my thyroid that weren't there before the gadolinium, and we're trying to figure out why the new nodules showed up.
Turning yellow.
Yeah. Skin changes.
So we're hoping that this study will direct further studies to see what we can do to help.
Yeah. So if you've had gadolinium, whether you're a patient or a member of a community group trying to figure out what's going on, because there is a large and growing community. We see about 400 new people joining our community every month, asking questions. A lot of people come and they're being prescribed an MRI with contrast, and they want to know what contrast is, and they don't know yet. And so they're trying to decide if they want to get it. And it's up to you. I mean, you're in charge of your own health. But I think we just hope people understand and have informed consent. That's really.
And to understand, what the risk and benefits. But if you're having symptoms, at least for me, I wish I would have figured it out sooner. I had a lot of GAD, 4 injections within 7 months with a large kidney tumor. I did develop a lot of symptoms, and I was under the impression that all of the GAD was gone in 24 to 48 hours, and for me that wasn't true. And so that needs to be really weighed out for each individual patient. And I just wish I had known that it really isn't gone.
Right. And that used to be true. They did think that it was out of your system in 24 to 48 hours. But since then, the manufacturers of the product have acknowledged that it's retained in everyone who's injected, and it's retained in your brain, your bone, your tissue, and your organs. And so I think that's why the toxicity testing and studies is so important, is what is it doing when it's retained in the body, right? So, 24 to 48 hours, it's not out of your system. It's retained years. And it's going in all those places that the manufacturers acknowledge.
At least 8 years. Yeah. And so everyone's different in how they respond, but we wanted to be part of science so that further studies can be performed on what to do if there are health issues that arise or symptoms that arise. Yeah.
So we just want everybody to be safe, and it's your body, so take ownership and know what you're putting in it. Whatever it is, make sure you know what you're putting in it and have informed consent. So we hope this is helpful. the study. I think we're thrilled to death. And if you are a GAD person and you're a member of the community and the group, grab a buddy and travel with a buddy. We shared a hotel. We got a little suite, so we have a 1-bedroom and a couch on one room, and we kind of created this little apartment setup, and it has a full kitchen. It was affordable. It's 15 minutes from University of New Mexico. You show up, you go to the parking lot, and
they come get you on a golf cart.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. And the campus is beautiful, and you spend about 2 hours there and get to meet Dr. Wagner and his staff and his team, and they'll collect your nails and your blood and all the things we talked about. And then you collect your urine, and then you're free to go. So it's fun. And Albuquerque's a cute little town, lots of places to stay, and you can, have some fun. But grab a buddy, it makes it so much more fun. And you can talk about your GAD warrior stories, right?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Anyway, thanks for joining. I mean, we're going to make some more videos and just share the wealth and try and help educate and make people feel comfortable with the processes and learn about some of the nuances of what you have to deal with if you are a patient and do experience adverse events, right?
Yeah.
And the science and how it's going to work and help us.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye, everyone.